happens next is not my fault.
Oh my God.
We have a brand new game.
I was trying to contain myself. Oh my.
Go option 1, not safe. These are insane.
And Brandon keep killing it.
What is good, creative fam? Brandon Washington here, and welcome back to another episode of Uncensored. I already see y'all in the chat. Look, I can tell everybody is hype about whatever Canon has going on, and trust me, we are definitely gonna jump into it. It has been a crazy week. And I feel like I'm saying that every week now. Like, it feels like every week is a crazy week when it comes to all the new camera news that's dropping. But this has been a crazy week. We're seeing stuff we've never seen before. We're seeing controversy like we've never seen before. But to help me talk about it today, of course, we have our amazing co-host, Mr. Jarrell. What it do, bro?
What's up? We have just dropped a question in the poll.
Yeah?
And it is, are you here for the Canon hype?
Oh.
Yes or no? We're going to keep it simple. Are you here for the Canon hype?
Let us know in the poll. I feel like you have definitely found your people.
90% of the people here right now are here for the Canon hype.
Are you here for the Canon hype? Is the question.
I'm here for the Canon hype.
Dude,
we got so much to talk about today.
We do. We have a lot to talk about. So much stuff is currently going on. Today, we're going to be talking about the Canon news. Lumix is back in the news, but maybe for a reason that you're not expecting. So we're going to definitely hop into that. Yeah, that was a little spicy. Also, I'm really excited to share something new that I got. I'm really excited to share that for the first time live here. So I'm gonna let the people know. Also, we got a little Sony stuff. A little Sony stuff. You can bring your hands a little closer. There you go. Technically, nothing ever touches, right? That's science. And then, of course, we got some great news in the world of AI. So we've got a jam-packed show for you today. But before we do that, I want to quickly take a moment to thank this week's sponsor, because we are able to keep improving the show because amazing companies are enjoying the show themselves and they're willing to come in and support. So I want to thank today's video sponsor. Oh, it's not working. All right, let's see if we can pull up today's video sponsor.
We're smooth.
Hey everyone, I want to take a quick moment to thank today's video sponsor, Artlist. If you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I use Artlist for pretty much all of my music and sound effect needs. This is not just for my YouTube videos though, but also for my client projects. They have an incredible variety of music that fits almost any project you can think of. Everything from real estate to commercial projects, and even on my latest Star Wars fan film. In fact, during our live stream countdown that you just checked out, we actually are using Artlist music there as well. See, what I love about Artlist is their high quality, highly curated music and sound effects. Whether you're looking for something specific or you're just browsing for inspiration, their AI-powered search engine makes it super easy to find exactly what you need. Plus, with their universal license, this covers you for all of your creative needs, from personal projects to commercial work, making it incredibly versatile and stress-free. Artlist isn't just about music and sound effects though. They also offer stock video templates, plugins, and even editing software. It truly is an all-in-one platform for content creators. And the best part is they have subscription plans for every type of creator, starting at just $9.99 a month. So when you subscribe, use my link and they'll give you 2 months for free with any annual subscription. So if you're looking to take your content to the next level, check out Artlist, and I'll leave a link in the description for you to explore their amazing library. Thank you to Artlist for sponsoring this video and supporting creators like us. Yo, so thank you so much, Artlist, for sponsoring this week's episode. We got a lot of stuff going on. Now, we have been doing some changes here to the show recently. Jarrell, we have a entirely new kind of back-end system here on the show.
Yep.
And it is allowing us to do some stuff that we've never done before. So I'm gonna kind of show a couple things here. So I'm gonna go back to live mode here. So I'm not really sure what's happening here, but we got this whole back-end system running right now that allows us to kind of have some unique stuff pop up on screen.
Yes. First thing we want to tell you about
Go ahead.
is we've got some really cool news related to this.
Okay, go ahead.
Brandon's channel is about to hit 150,000 subscribers.
Oh.
We're like 197 away.
Okay.
197 subs. And so one of the things that we've activated, the features that you're talking about,
We think we've activated.
we think that we've activated, is if you subscribe. So if you're not subscribed right now, if you subscribe right now, you might pop up on the screen. So we need a few people, like 197 of y'all, to hit subscribe if you're not subscribed. And let's see if it pops up on the screen.
Yeah, we'll see if that happens. Also,
Yes.
we know that last week and the week before that, and of course because of our ongoing amazing viewer, Mr. Cam Mackey, some super chats be coming through the system. And so we got a couple things that we're playing around with. So if you do happen to send in a super chat, something might happen as well. We're just trying to keep making this show better and better every single week. So as Jarrell said, if you haven't already, definitely hit that subscribe button because we are getting super close to 150. Also, if you do super chat, we would love to see if hopefully this thing I did. Oh, look, it did it.
What?
It did it.
What?
I don't know how to make it look better than that, but hey, we're starting.
We got one sub.
We got one sub. So yeah, so anytime
gosh.
throughout the show, unless it gets annoying, somebody subscribes, we'll have something pop up. Also, any super chats that come through, something else will pop up as well.
We appreciate you.
So we appreciate you guys tuning in, but we know why you're here because 71% of y'all say y'all are here for the Canon hype. So Jarrell, let's hop into it. Cause look, this is the image that we got that blew my brain.
Yes.
Because I wasn't ready. They like Canon had just dropped that little teaser with the Pelican case and the R1 envelope. And I was
Yes.
like, okay, cool. They're pushing hard for the R1. But turns out now we're actually going to be looking at whatever the heck this thing is.
You know what's crazy? The first time that I saw this image, I was like, that's not the R5 Mark II. That's not the R1.
That's right.
This is one of the 6 cameras. Six cameras.
Wait, hold on. So you're talking like that Canon has registered right now.
So, and I don't know the technical terms.
Okay.
But Canon has registered 6 model numbers.
6 model numbers. Oh, look, we got another sub.
Look at that.
And a super chat came in. I'm not really sure how that worked. Let's see. But yeah, super chat came in, so shout out, appreciate it. Oh, but yeah, dude, that's gonna get annoying. We gotta turn that off.
No, we'll turn it off after 150,000.
Okay, 150,000, we'll turn it off.
So anyways, they registered 6 model numbers for Canon cameras.
Okay.
Now, do they plan on replacing the entire lineup at 6 cameras dropping this year?
If all 6 drop right now, I personally, dude, this thing is like driving me crazy. I'm not really sure what the heck's going on here.
Are you gonna drop your? Are you gonna sell your stocks
Am I gonna sell my stock
if
in
they
what?
drop?
6 cameras?
I mean, I'm not gonna drop any names, but if they drop 6 cameras, are you selling your stock?
No, I think right now, I don't know. I'm not gonna say I don't know. Like, I'm looking at what Canon is saying that they're gonna release this year, and it is currently blowing my mind that they could, one, decide to drop 6 cameras in a year, especially because they've been quiet for so long.
And it's Canon.
And it's Canon, so it's like, you know, when Canon does release cameras, like we got the R8, which was like an amazing full frame camera, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then they also gave us like the R10, which was just like this, like, you know, small mirrorless, like just very, very basic beginner camera. Oh, look, that's a super chat.
It did come through.
It did come through.
Boom.
What's up? So it takes a little bit of delay on that. But no, I think for me, it really starting to come down to like, what are these cameras going to be? Because they could be all over the spectrum.
Yes.
I mean, let's face it, like they could give us their big daddy camera. What's it? The C700.
Yeah.
So that could be one of the registered cameras that actually came through. So like,
Don't do it, Canon. Anybody want that?
You know, but I for me, I'm not selling anything, but there's just so much that's coming out that I just want to hold. I want to hold my thoughts back a little bit.
Yeah.
Because Canon's doing way more than I thought they would.
I don't want to hold my thoughts back. I want to go. So when I saw this picture,
yeah.
At first thought was C70 Mark II. But it's so interesting because this isn't the only photo that they dropped, right, Brandon? They dropped 2 photos.
They did. And I'm really confused about the second photo because it doesn't necessarily look like it doesn't look like this camera.
Yes.
But it also has the cinema badge on it.
Yes.
So it's letting me feel like maybe here's my philosophy. You had the C500 that was a big camera, the C300 that was a big camera, and then they came out with the C70, which I think sold better than those other 2 cameras just because of, it officially had the RF mount, it's more affordable. Yeah, around $6,000-ish, like it built in NDs. Great. I would not be surprised if they dropped their new lineup of cinema cameras and they hit all 3 of those markers, but at the same time. So you get a 500, a 300, and I don't know if I necessarily want a C70 Mark II because I think I would prefer that camera to be full frame if I'm in the Canon world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it seems like they might be holding full frame for 300 to 500 to maybe protect those 2 lineups, and then you have your Super 35 C70 Mark II.
Yeah,
so that's my thoughts.
I think EF is dead.
Okay.
I think it's dead.
I agree.
I think that they more than likely, guessing, they're not going to develop any more cameras with the EF mount. I think RF is here to stay forever. So for me, I do think there will be a C70 Mark II to keep it at that crop sort of deal. But I feel like, to me, it's going to be the C300 replacement.
What do you think is going to be the C300 replacement?
The C70 Mark II will be the C300 replacement.
But what about that price point?
So we're in the future now. And so there's like a piece where they've maybe realized, I don't know if people want a $10,000, $11,000, $12,000 camera.
Okay.
If we can maybe bring it down to that 6-7 and sell a ton.
Yeah.
Now, a C90, okay, which would be the C500 Mark II.
Okay.
And maybe that's in that 10 to 12 range. And this is just me being hopeful because I don't want things that cost $1 billion.
Yeah, I personally, I don't know if I mean, you tell me, but I feel like these cameras very easily could be priced in a way where yes, there was a 300 and a 500, which were $10,000+ cameras, and then you release a C70. But I feel like there were still needs that those cameras fulfilled. It's not just a price point thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I do feel like, to be fair, Canon can't make every camera for me. They have to make some for the consumer. They have to make some for the prosumer. They've got to make some for the professionals, like Hollywood, stuff like that. So, I'm okay with them making a C700 for Hollywood that I may never touch.
As long as you get your camera first.
Well, it's not even, I mean, they're dropping 6, so I'm good. Yeah, they're dropping.
Something will work for you.
Yeah, something will work for me. So, yeah, I do think that we will see a C70, a C90, and I don't even know. I don't know where you go from there. But.
Well, we've got a few comments that have been coming through. So let's go ahead and let's run to the comments real quick and see what you guys are saying, because I agree with some of the stuff I'm seeing in the comment section right now. I mean, Marcus had even said that, what about a C400? Which I was like, that could work. I mean, a C400, I think the model numbering thing is where we as consumers kind of miss the mark, I guess, a little bit. But I think what they are looking at, because at the end of the day, let's be real, this is a freaking business for them.
Oh yeah,
it just comes down to money.
Yeah.
But
don't get confusing like Sony's numbering system.
Okay,
don't do that.
Don't do that. That would be difficult. Let's pull up this one. I'll have you check out this super chat.
Check out this new Canon camera. It has, unsurprisingly, uninspiring features, only lenses you can get at f11 at the fastest aperture, and they cost $5,000. I don't speak that language. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm trying to comprehend.
I think he's just poking fun at you.
I'm trying to, but it's hard. It's hard to understand what you're saying.
Now, here's one. We got one from Mr. David Altizer, who was on the show last week. He says a full frame C70 with a better screen and SDI. Now,
I'm here for it.
I think for me, a full frame C70 with SDI and a really good screen is kind of like, it does solve all the problems I think I had with the C70. Now, granted, the problem I had with the C70 wasn't the C70's fault. I got a Komodo first, and then I picked up the C70 as like a little bit more of a workhorse type camera.
Yeah.
And the image, it just kind of threw me off a bit.
Yeah.
But that said,
C70 is a little soft.
It's a little soft.
A little soft.
A little soft. So I think
As a C70 owner, a little soft.
I think what they could do is, obviously, when they throw a full frame sensor in there, definitely, obviously, it'll be upgraded. So I don't think we'll have that problem, because we haven't had that problem with cameras since that camera has come out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we'll be okay. SDI for me has quickly become a like non-negotiable. Like, I love having SDI because it works. It's such a better tool for me, at least in my productions. And then, of course, you can always just use like an SDI to HDMI adapter if you needed that. But no, I think I'm with Dave here.
There's a piece to me, though, where I'm going to have to disagree. I don't think that they'll call it a C70. I don't think that we have in Canon's naming scheme where they've ever took a Super 35 sensor and gone full frame and it was a Mark II. So that's just me. I think it's going to be a C90 if it's change C80, C99, like whatever. But I don't know that it would be a C70. I haven't seen that jump. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like a model number that stays the same model, but like you don't, like the sensor goes from being cropped to full frame. Yeah, I definitely agree. Now, Kofi here, he's coming in with the super chat, so thank you, Kofi. And pretty much what he's saying is that, like, with everything coming up, from the World Cup to the Olympics, NFL broadcasts, Disney got stuff coming on, like, I feel like we're about to see drops like none other. Like, this just feels like a big broadcast year. You know what I mean? Like, so much is currently happening, like, just in the world of sports and just live productions. And, like, obviously, everybody is coming back from everything being locked down and, you know, having to deal with that. That this just feels like a very big broadcast year, a big content year around a lot of live events. So, like, do you think this trend that we see from Canon dropping 6 cameras, do you think this is a trend that, like, Canon's being very loud about it, but like Panasonic might have a little something coming. Sony is like, hey, hold my beer. Like, I got some stuff for you too.
Yeah.
Like, do you think this is about to be like the year of the drop? Like, is this the year where we are so overwhelmed with the amount of cameras that come out that, like, literally content creators, YouTubers, bloggers, like, we just can't keep up? It just becomes like, all right, we just got to pick which ones we're going to do and just let the rest go.
So we were talking about this a little bit before the live stream, and you heard it here first. I think that Canon will return back to being king of the mountain. And here's the deal. I think that's a great thing for everyone, even if you're a Sony or Panasonic or Fuji or like whatever. And the reason why I think that is, if Canon stomps everybody in the mouth this year, which I think that they will, we're going to get back to the days of Sony innovation. We're going to get back to the days of everybody's trying to catch back up. And so I'm excited, not for Canon to reign. I'm excited for hopefully Canon has taken these last 4 years to put in everything that sets them so far ahead that now everyone isn't just releasing the same sensor in a new body. You know who you are, Sony.
Okay, so I agree, but I think you're missing that people are already making these moves. So, like, for example, I don't think that Canon is going to stomp anybody in the mouth. Like, I just don't. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that they are going to release some really much-needed, very late cameras to the game, right?
Fair.
And I think that the problem that they're going to have is, like, they are late, which means everyone is going to be able to
Pull up that
piggyback
comment.
off. What?
Pull up that comment.
Which one?
It's,
Marcus's?
No. STM Films.
Oh, where is he? At the bottom?
At the bottom. I don't know. Yeah.
Where are we at?
Where's he at?
There he is.
Yeah, there he is.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
Read it. No, you read it.
Yeah, I got you.
You get it.
Canon is like the Lakers cinema. When the Lakers are good, the league is good. Keep going.
What? Okay, that's a very tough one for me as a Lakers fan.
he's tied Canon with his beloved team.
I don't like that you did that. That was unnecessary. But I'm like old school Lakers fan. Kobe era. I'm not really been
LeBron hater.
I'm not a LeBron hater.
LeBron.
I'm just I'm not a LeBron sympathizer. But I do think that Canon, they definitely need to compete. Because I will agree with you when you say that, like, Sony feels like they have been a little bit on the, like, they haven't quite had to innovate quite as hard lately. Like, they can take old sensors and throw them in a new body after new body. Like, oh, you like this sensor? Great. Here's one for the filmmakers. Here's one for the content creators. Here's one for the everyday Joe. And it's the same camera across the board. And, like, the upgrade is something as simple as, oh, now we have AI autofocus, right?
Yeah.
Like, I do think that there needs to be competition. This is one of the reasons why, like, it hurts me so bad that GoPro failed so miserably at the drone game, because they unfortunately showed everyone, hey, you can't compete with DJI. DJI just got it. But I don't know if DJI has, like, truly innovated in the drone space in a long time. So you need that competition. And if Canon is who brings it right now, I think that's fine. But I don't think that they're just crushing it, because let's not...
They haven't released anything yet.
They haven't. They haven't, but yet everybody is acting like they have.
Oh, yeah. We're here for it.
Yeah, and even Mr. Camera Junkie brings in, don't forget red icon. Like, don't forget the red icon. Like, that's a thing.
No, but Mr. Camera Junkie also had a really good comment where he said Sony has done some innovations, global shutter.
Yep.
And to me, that was an innovation. I still think that A9 III is a flop for now.
I will say the camera is a flop, but I think you have to almost start with that.
Yes.
So that way the next version can be better.
100%.
Yeah.
If they fix and to be clear, have not touched it, have not shot with it, I am sure if I had it in my hands, I would feel differently. But from what you hear, it's adoption versus its potential poor camera quality or image quality because of the global shutter. It doesn't feel like it didn't make the waves that it thought it would make.
Yeah. No, I think I agree. I think I agree with you on that.
So yeah.
I think I can agree with you on that. So let's quickly recap all of our Canon news right now. R1, B&Ts, Canon for the first time really dropping teasers like we've never seen before.
Love the hype.
You're loving the hype. We're getting cinema
You love the hype. You got to see these, man. I'm not going to put his business out here, but you got to see these texts he be sending out.
What?
Bro,
No.
didn't you send me the text?
I sent you the text, but that's because Canon, when they announced this new cinema image that we popped up earlier, they did say for like the first time, like they're going to be doing like a live broadcast for this. It's happening on Wednesday. And so I hit you up because I was like, we got to do a show on Wednesday and watch this thing live.
He loves the hype.
I do love the hype.
He loves the hype.
I just like being excited. It's been so long since cameras have made me excited. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Like, especially from like these type of brands.
Yes.
Like it's just been too long.
And don't forget.
Okay, hold on.
Don't forget.
I don't like being called a hater. I'm gonna put you on blast right now. Don't hop up in here calling me no hater. I'm not a hater. All right.
To be clear, uncensored, we might be using a Canon or two in the office.
Oh yeah, there's a Canon being used right now.
A Canon or two.
There's a Canon being used right now. I got no problem with Canon.
But you can't forget in that the R1, maybe some new cinema, but the camera that I am most excited for, if there's going to be a camera that's going to get my money in the next couple months, is an R5 Mark II. Now, here's the crazy part. You have heard from an unidentified source that the camera is magical?
Magical was the word that was told to me.
Canon Rumors is reporting wow camera.
Yeah.
And we're also hearing revolutionary. Now, here's the deal. We know with the YouTube hype that we hear game changer every day.
Yep.
But I'm feeling a little excited.
Look, I will say from another unidentified source, because I got to protect my sources, because I love my sources. I was talking to somebody recently about the R5 Mark II, and I was like, I knew they knew a little something, but they couldn't tell me exactly what they knew. And I was like, I'm really excited about it. I think it could be really, I've heard magical, and they were like, who says it's an R5 Mark II? Which changed a lot for me. And now that we're seeing 6 cameras, that's why for me, as excited as you are about the R5 Mark II, I think everybody just needs to calm down.
We're about to get disappointed.
That's the issue that I'm having with y'all right now. Y'all's hype is at a whole new level.
The R5 Mark II is gonna be in an R3 body. I just feel it in my soul. It's gonna be an R3 body, active cooling, blah 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 blah, and it is gonna be an R5C, R5 Mark II. It's gonna be it's just gonna be perfect.
Now
it's gonna be the 1DC. It's gonna be the 1DC.
Now, so here's my question. If they drop too many cameras, how I feel like that could also kill this, because I feel like, because you know how you Canon fanboys are, y'all are ruthless. When Canon flops y'all,
Brandon owns more Canon stuff than I do.
That's not. Wait, are we counting lenses?
Absolutely.
Okay, but in my defense, it's because my favorite camera has an RF mount on it.
I've been doing this for a very long time.
Okay, if they drop too many cameras, do you think it could actually hurt them?
Nah.
In the fact that people don't know which one to go with?
I do think it'll be confusing. I think it'll be hard, but those are good problems to have.
But take your R5 Mark II idea that you're talking about.
Yes.
Inside of a 1DX style body or 1D or
R1, 1DC.
1DC style body, right? That camera comes out alongside a C70 Mark II, right? So Super 35, but it's got the built-in indies and the other one doesn't.
Resurrect the 1DC. And take all my money.
I'm not gonna lie to you. The 1DC was my dream camera for so long.
Thank you, Philip Bloom. Resurrect the 1DC. Call it the R5DC, whatever.
Call it whatever you want.
Call it whatever. Be a photo camera. Be a cinema camera. Like the R5C.
Yeah.
Battery, give me the power.
Yeah.
Take my money.
I
forsake the C70, forsake the C90. I don't even care. Give me that, because in my heart, I love the C70. I would love the Komodo X one day. But I grew up being a DSLR shooter. So give me a mirrorless DSLR body and let me do everything.
And you're willing to sacrifice built-in NDs for that?
Nah, they're putting them in there.
Oh, you want that in there?
You saw the patents are out there.
I don't know if we're getting them that quick.
I don't know, but oh my gosh, we got to get off Canon, because we can talk about Canon for the whole hour, bro.
You're right. Let us know in the comment sections what your thoughts are on all these new Canon releases. Also,
what do you want? What do you want? Because I want the 1DC.
Yeah. I think I'd be happy with a R5C Mark II that doesn't overheat. I liked the idea of being able to put the battery grip on or taking it off depending on what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But I totally see what you're saying. A 1DC, that was a dream camera. And like my R3, because I still do own an R3.
Yeah.
That is something that I'd be like, okay, I'll sell my R3 and go to something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's ultimately what I wanted the R3 to be for me. Something that could do video and photo really well. But let us know down in the comments. Also, be aware, Wednesday we will be, yes, confirmed.
Yes, going live.
Wednesday we're going to go live. I think it starts at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be live reacting to the Canon releases right here on this channel. So again, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you are aware of that. It's weird. It's like in the middle of the day. And I'm actually flying out to Cine Gear right after that. So make sure you're there. Make sure you're on time because I'm sure Jarrell's going to be geeking out the whole time.
I hope so.
I feel like there's almost no way you can't be.
It's so weird because I'm a person that loves to play the lottery, but not actually see if I won. Because there is the optimism of winning.
Yes.
But the day the numbers come out, I'm like, trash.
You don't want to be let down.
I am so excited for the days leading up to Wednesday.
You're going to be watching like this?
On Wednesday, I'm going to be like, and we released an R500.
Pass.
All
right, let us know what y'all think and be ready for Wednesday. All right. Now, I told you I was going to handle this transition because it's
a little touchy.
It's very
I might have ruined that transition, but go for it, Brandon.
You absolutely ruined it. I don't know how to do this now. Okay, let's shoot.
We could change topics.
No, we got to touch on this topic.
Okay.
All right, so look, we're
oh my
crying.
gosh.
Look, so Lumix, the Lumix S9 is back in the news this week. And it is not for the reason that you probably are thinking, unless you stay in the news and you know why we're about to go into this. Now, I'm going to be very clear about this. This has nothing to do with creators.
Mm-hmm.
This has nothing to do with any videos that have come out this week. We are not talking about any creators. We are talking specifically to Lumix.
Yes.
And the unfortunate, I don't know if the word unfortunate is the right word.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the deal. I have tried to stay in the dark on this, and Jarrell has gone deep into the weeds to figure out this story so we can figure out how to break this accordingly. And so the S9 back in the news, no creator drama. Just give them a blanket idea of what's going on.
So I don't know how this whole suing thing works. So for the first time in my media career, I'm going to use this word allegedly.
Yeah, nope.
Don't sue me.
Don't come after us.
Don't come after us. But allegedly, not
allegedly.
allegedly. Dude, there's been a few things going on with Lumix. They are in some financial woes, which I think that's a lot of the camera industry, if we're being honest. With not just cameras, but just inflation, money, sales, everything's down. But unfortunately, I think what that's resulted in is it's resulted in maybe some poor marketing decisions, allegedly.
Allegedly.
And so Lumix, on the Japan side of things, on their website.
This is marketing?
Marketing, yeah.
Yep, okay.
They were showing off some of their animal eye detection autofocus deal.
Yep.
And instead of taking images from the S9, they took images from a Nikon ambassador of an image of a dog that it took from the Z9.
Oh.
And they put it as a new feature on the S9 is the eye detection autofocus. And not only did they pull images from a Nikon camera, they also pulled images allegedly from a Canon camera and also from a stock footage. And so the tough part is, and this is where it's kind of brutal.
Yeah.
Okay. because forget Lumix, forget Nikon, forget Sony, forget the brand.
Right.
Like, it's really kind of tough, right? When you're trying to sell a camera and you're using your competitors' images to sell your camera. Your camera didn't take that picture.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got a question. Because I mean, again, I didn't go down the weeds, so I'm gonna ask questions, and in the chat, if y'all have questions, definitely bring it up. But like, so this is an image that's on their website that's being used to promote / showcase
The feature.
of eye autofocus. So they're showing an image, and they're kind of doing like the little box around the thing's eye to say like, look, it can track an animal's eye like this. But the image itself was taken
from a Nikon ambassador.
So they're not,
and not even like they didn't like crop or like. I mean, it's the same image.
It's the same image.
It's the same.
I feel like this is
pixel for
somebody in
pixel.
marketing who just like went out and was like, okay, we need to show eye autofocus, and they went looking for images of animals, and marketing not probably thinking much about the camera.
Hopefully an intern.
I just feel like Lumix is just,
because I don't want Lumix to fail. Like, I don't want.
we need the competition. Is that what you're saying?
Well, there's that, but I don't wish bad on anybody.
Yeah.
Like, I love it when Canon's doing well, but I love it when other people shoot past. Like, even when, like, I don't hate on Sony. Nikon makes some crazy cameras. I think it only pushes Canon, and it's good for everyone. But even then, we don't need everybody to be great. We just need the big three to be great. But I still don't wish anything bad on Lumix.
Yeah. No.
I'm hoping that it was an intern that just didn't understand the gravity.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, this is not how these multi-million-dollar campaigns work. We don't have a little 19-year-old in the basement being like, upload.
Yeah.
Like, this is passing through multiple people's eyes. And so it is yikes.
Yeah.
It's yikes. But I don't know.
I think it's a bad choice. It's a really bad choice.
You could have even pulled from your own line of cameras.
But you got to imagine, I mean,
pull from your own.
Oh, you're saying like one of their older cameras.
If you didn't use an S9 and you used a more professional camera, you could you didn't hear what I said. If you would have chose, like, that would have been good. You know,
Yeah.
Not good. It still would have been deceiving.
It would have been better.
But you cannot be using somebody else's
Camera.
You cannot be using their picture.
Yeah.
Like, that's bad. That's bad.
Yeah, it's a rough spot. It's a rough spot. Now, granted, the U.S. market was not associated with this.
I think U.S. said, nah, fam, we're taking our own pictures. We ain't doing what y'all doing.
Yeah, so I mean, definitely a huge. I mean, I feel like Lumix as a company right now is learning a lot.
That's a nice way to put her in very hot water.
That is the censored way.
On multiple fronts.
That is the censored way of saying, make some changes.
Yeah.
Make better decisions. Make different decisions. Yeah. Whoops, the truth slipped out.
Drop the camera that everybody wants.
Make some different decisions. We trust you. We trust that you'll take this situation, you'll learn from it, and you'll move on.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think that this is going to, at least I hope that this is not a detrimental thing.
I think they're too big for it to be too detrimental.
Yeah.
But man, like you said, the big three, right? And like it's tough because like if you go back DSLR days, like you start thinking about the big three, and it's been Nikon, Canon for sure, and then it was like Sony jumped in, and then now Panasonic's there, and it's like, well, wait a minute, who's in the big three? You know what I mean?
Is it in question right now?
I think that the big three is up for grabs completely right now.
Based off of
the fact that like everybody is fighting.
Perception or sales?
So, okay. This is the Kendrick. This is the Kendrick.
This is
Drake
the
debate.
Literal Kendrick Drake debate.
Because like you could say Drake is going to outsell Kendrick all day long. But does that make him a better rapper? That's the debate, right? So the question here is it perception? What camera is the most useful, has the most useful tools, or sales? Because I think perception has hurt Lumix, especially in my eyes, right? Yeah. I think that perception has almost killed Nikon for a lot of people. I mean, even people who don't shoot Nikon, never picked up a Nikon, you're like, describe a Nikon, and they'll say potato. And that is a perception without them actually picking up a Z8 and using it. You know what I mean? So, like, who is in the big three is going to be individual. Yeah. But what I think is happening this year is everybody has an opportunity to drop a Not Like Us and be the definitive winner. And everybody is trying. Everybody
can't be Kendrick.
Everybody can't, but everybody's trying, and I think this is the year for the big swings. Like, Nikon made a huge swing. We're buying red. Yeah. Not like us. You ain't got bags like us. Yeah. And then we found out the bag actually wasn't that big. Yeah.
Canon's like, I got bags like you.
Canon was like, we don't need to buy red because we're just going to drop 6 cameras this year. Yeah. But we don't know what those cameras are yet, but they're trying to say, no, we are the definitive winner. Yeah. And I think Sony has been oddly quiet. Yes. But unfortunately, Panasonic's not really making the right moves. And this is where, like, my original point of, like, they are slipping out of the conversation, but not because they don't make good cameras. Yeah. It's because their bad moves are louder than their good moves. Yeah. And that's my opinion right now. But I think they have an opportunity because I think all these companies are one camera away from maybe 6 cameras away for Canon. They're just one camera away from people being like, yes.
I don't think you believe that.
I think so.
I think, well, let me express my opinion. I do think things are more fluid than they've been in a really long time. So there's agreement in that. But because people are so heavily invested, you might be able to win the Zs and the Alphas. I don't know that a camera, because I think even if Canon drops the 1DC RF, perfect photo, perfect video, I don't see Sony fanboys switching.
No. I'm saying you're one camera away from being like, I'm in the big 3.
Oh, nah.
You don't think so?
Nikon, Canon, Sony.
That's it.
Because here's the deal. Out. Panasonic and Fuji, they're in the top 5. They're in the big 5.
They're in the big 5.
Because they've never been in the big 3. Maybe in a kind way. Yeah. When Nikon didn't adopt to video fast enough, maybe Panasonic slipped into the big 3.
But you think?
But the moment that Nikon dropped that Z9, Z8, and they showed everybody, we're here. Yeah. Like, Panasonic, and I'm sorry, Panasonic users. I know that my mentor was Canon and then switched to Panasonic. So I'm not hating. You guys have an incredible camera system, but from the Drake side of things, the mass adoption side of things, y'all ain't never was in the sales conversation when it came to big 3.
All right.
But from a feature standpoint, when you corrected your autofocus stuff,
I think that was a good first step.
That was a great first step. But that little contrast detection stuff, you never were in the big 3 because of a camera. You were in the big 3 because somebody kind of fell out.
Because
that might be that's so hot. That felt like it came out like mean. I'm not a mean person. I'm sorry, Panasonic.
I think
there's not even any Panasonic people in here. There's only Canon people here.
I was like, I think Kofi left. Kofi said bye. He said, I can't be here for this anymore. Yeah. He had to dip. Oh man. All right. So let us know. Is there any you see anybody in the chat? Anybody we need to pull up? Because Scott's saying it.
Oh, people are saying it's a real bad look. Allegedly.
Is it? Do
yeah,
y'all
people
care?
Are saying it's a.
Scott says that the Z8 is in fact pretty fantastic, which I agree with.
The G&K Studios.
G&K.
Yeah, right there.
There it
Yeah,
is.
right there.
Yeah, I'll let you read that off.
Yeah, it says no malice in this, but this was a mistake of epic proportions. Probably an intern, but no malice. Panasonic doesn't need to steal images because their cameras take fantastic photos. I'm a Z8 user, by the way.
Yeah, first of all, I love the fact that you added in that you are a Nikon shooter, just so that way there's perspective. He's
like, if you stole from us, thank you.
Thank you. Because we're just that good. No, but I do think that this was a pretty big issue.
Kofi said he's still here.
Oh, Kofi,
no disrespect, my man. I'm not on the Panasonic. I don't know. I don't know what they could do. I don't know what they could do for me.
I think they.
But they can start with sending me the lineup if they wanted to.
I think maybe we'll see. We'll see.
If it was in my hands and I was able to test it, that sort of deal. But we all know this is an expensive industry.
Yes.
And it's like, gosh, you're gonna have to hang the moon, bro.
I think that's what everybody's doing. Like I said, everybody's throwing right hooks right now. Everybody's throwing right hooks because that's all you can do. Nikon buys red. Canon drops 6 cameras. Sony's gonna drop 7 cameras. Just kidding. I think that's all you can do.
All right, Brandon.
Yeah. Yes.
On the board.
Yeah.
We got something. Hey, if you've stuck around to this point, you are in for a treat.
I'm gonna get it ready.
Brandon's gonna get it ready. Brandon has gotten something in the mail, and it is something that is like, this might be the first time y'all are seeing this like live and in person, because I don't know how many. I've seen a few videos on the internet of this camera, but I have not seen anybody that I know have one. So,
yeah.
Brandon, you wanna know what's in the box?
Yeah. Actually, you know what, chat? Why don't you guess what's in the box? I've never done a live unboxing before, but I'm really excited about this.
I mean, I obviously know what's in the box, but man, what do y'all think?
Like, what would be worth showcase? What if we just?
I mean, is there an Easter egg on your shirt?
Nah.
No?
Nah. Oh man, I'm actually really excited about
this was a good comment.
Yeah.
Black Magic knocked off Lumix for video a couple years ago. Lumix is fighting for it. It's like, I didn't think about this. Is Black Magic in the big 3?
No, but they're in the top 5. That's why when you said when you said your top 5, I was like, where's Black Magic? Because you can't.
To
put
be fair,
Fuji
I would put.
So Fuji,
Did
Panasonic.
Black Magic slip into the top 3 when our friends might have slipped out?
When Nikon slipped out?
Yeah.
Yes.
More than a Panasonic and Fuji.
I think that Fuji and Panasonic are fighting for 5th place. Black Magic is clearly in 4th or 3rd place.
Man, that's so disrespectful.
No, it's not.
I didn't even think about that when you said that with the Pixis being dropped. I wonder.
It's right there, bro.
Is it?
It's right there.
We can't see nothing.
Oh,
Brandon's just pointing.
There we go.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Drum roll, please. Look at that. Is that a normal Raptor?
It is. It's a special edition.
It is a special edition Raptor.
Oh, bro, this looks like a Panda, bro. Oh, here it is.
Now, if you guys don't know, Brandon was one of the first buyers of the V Raptor, which is why it's white.
Yes.
But tell them why the front is black, Brandon.
It is official. I know a lot of people have been asking if I was gonna do it, and I did it. The red V Raptor is now officially a Raptor X.
Thumbnail.
No, like, dude, like this is pretty sick. So this one's super, like, this is actually my body. Like, it's crazy. I can actually tell, like, they didn't really change too much of it. Like, on the typical X, they have like an X lasered in on the side. I don't have that.
Okay,
Because they kept my actual side body on it.
That's dope.
But the whole front is there. So I guess the question is, what is black and white and red all over? This guy.
Brandon.
Oh, dude. This is
CFA flannel.
Yeah.
So Brandon, tell them what is this upgrade to the Raptor? Like what changed?
Yeah, so when you do a red Raptor upgrade to the X, it is almost like a full internal swap. I mean, I'm going to have the new sensor, obviously, which is a global shutter sensor, and that's the big thing. But what's crazy about the global shutter sensor from the red Raptor to the Raptor X is that you actually don't lose any of the dynamic range. In fact, you actually gain a little bit of extra dynamic range because this new sensor allows you to take on this new option in the camera called extended highlights, which means I'm actually going to get a little bit more detail in my highlights, which is something I'm really excited to play around with.
And that sounds just a little not like a true statement. It's a little more. Bro, seeing the examples, it's like stuff that was clearly blown out.
Yeah.
Was brought back.
Well, you know me. I'm not going to talk about it from a state of like, oh, it does this until I actually, shot with the camera.
But it does do that.
But it does do that. I've seen it in action.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to get out and shoot with it. But yeah, no, my Raptor is officially a Raptor X. The black and white actually doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad. I was a little nervous about that, but dude, it looks really, really sick. It looks like they actually replaced my screen too on the side.
It makes it unique.
Yes.
It makes it like...
I've only ever seen one other one like this.
Yeah.
Only one other one like this. So really, really excited about it. I'm going to set this sucker right here for the rest of the show because I'm pretty pumped about it. But yeah, dude, I love Travis's. He says, that sounds magical.
It sounds all right. It's all right.
Yeah, you Canon fanboy.
It's all right.
You call me a hater?
It's all right.
Canon fanboy haters out here, bro. They haters out here.
Oh, man.
Okay, now, we've been talking a lot about rumors from Canon.
Yes.
We have been talking a lot about some rumors for Canon, but really exciting news. Sony has finally entered the rumor game. What's that?
Split.
Oh, you want me to? You want to come back
split.
up?
Yeah. We got a tiny rumor.
Okay,
because remember at the beginning of the show, we're like, Sony's got a little tiny rumor.
Tiny rumor? Well, Sony's in the game, though.
Oh, yeah.
They're in the rumor game now.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so what are we talking? What Sony got?
So here's the deal with the Sony rumor. I am thinking that when the R5 dropped years ago,
yep,
Sony swooped in and tried to steal the thunder. And they did, because there was a lot of problems with the R5. I've had this sneaking suspicion that Sony has been super quiet. Super quiet. The A9 III dropped in, like, really haven't heard anything else. Mm-hmm. And there's a camera that I think that the Sony fanboys are dying to have because it's been a little while since the A7S III came out. And so we have rumored, allegedly, that the A7S IV may be dropping in July.
Okay.
And they have provided very little details. And I think that's actually probably good of them because I think it gives them two options. It just being in the rumor mill. If Canon stomps them in the mouth, they don't have to release in July. They can just be quiet and be like, oh, we're still working on it. But going from what? The A7S III was a 12 megapixel camera?
Yeah.
12 or 13? So the rumor is 24, so stepping it up.
Okay.
Which I wonder what that's going to do.
Does 24 get you to 8K?
I don't think so. I think 30 does.
30 does?
But I'm not a mathematician. So.
Okay. Hey, chat, let us know how many megapixels do you need to get to 8K?
Which the interesting part is this rumor coincides with this because the biggest specs that they've released, which isn't like, it's kind of like a no duh, it already does this, but 4K 60 and 4K 120. But the biggest thing that's been said, it's a bigger sensor, but I wonder how that's going to do with the low light performance. So there's a piece of me that feels like the next A7S IV is going to have to be clean to 60, 70,000 ISO.
Every ISO is the base ISO.
Like, honestly, and this is like the proper honor where honors due. Where do you go from the A7S III?
Okay, so I can say from my experience with working with Sony. So I've had the opportunity to be in the room with some of their engineers, talk to them a little bit about the Sony camera process. And the one thing that I never knew was that the A7S lineup is not S for video or something like that. The S stands for sensitivity. And so the camera has, like, its number one priority is having very clean ISOs. And that is why the A7S lineup has been so good in low light, because that's where they shove in the best tech they have when it comes to being very sensitive at different ISO ranges and having such clean ISO. Now, that said, I don't think that they would be willing to have a 8K sensor, 30 plus megapixels, if it meant worse ISO performance than the original model. So this is my guess. This is my theory here, that this camera might not get 8K, but it could get like 7K downsampled. And now you're talking about a 4K A7S III versus a 7K downsampled A7S IV, maybe. And so when you're looking at downsampling that much data and to still get 4K 60, 4K 120, but it's really 7K downsampled, I think now you're probably looking at a camera that's like more usable. And the ISO ranges might be a little bit easier for people to be like, oh, why didn't we get 8K? And it's like, well, no, you're getting 7K downsampled. That's sharper. Because I've always said that like a higher resolution downsample looks better most of the time than that resolution at full readout.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I feel like they created such a great camera that they almost shot themselves in the foot. And that's the reason why it's been so long since we've had, like, because Sony is just known as a drop a camera.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's been so long because it's like, dang, where are we going with the A7S IV? Like 100,000 ISO clean? Like what do you want, A7S
No noise.
users?
No noise.
What do you want?
No noise.
What do you want?
There's just no noise nowhere where you're at.
And keep it under $3,000.
That's the part where it's like,
now if anybody can do it,
Sony could.
it's Sony. They make sensors for everyone.
That they do. That they do. I just hope that even with a A7S IV, like when the A7S III came out, we did not know that an FX3 was coming.
Yes.
Right? Now that we know that that is sort of the trajectory, I'm just hoping that this time, because it felt like A7S III came out, FX3 came out, and it felt like two different teams that didn't know they were working on the exact same camera, and they all dropped, and we were like, what? They were like, oh, oh, crap, we released the same camera, even though we're underneath the same company name. I'm hoping this time they've talked to each other, and that maybe they just work together to create some type of like, I don't need two of the exact same cameras. You know what I mean?
What I felt like would happen is they were both working on projects, and they were like, yo, A7S III, let me get that sensor.
So, okay, here's my weird Sony philosophy, okay? I don't know if anybody else has ever said this publicly, but I'm going to say this publicly.
Yeah.
I think that Sony has teams. Like, they have the A7S team, right?
Okay.
And then they have an FX3 team. But then they have a team of engineers out there who are just making crap. They're just like, oh, we made this sensor that could do this. Oh, we made this body that could do this. And then these teams get these garbage bins of parts, and they can just walk in and be like, all right, what's our budget for this camera? Okay, it's got to be less than $3,000. Okay, cool. So I can get that
Sonny
part.
got that
I
big
can get
money.
this part. I can get this part. And they could do that, right? And what happens is these teams don't talk to each other. So then FX3 team and A7S team were looking at the same dang garbage bins and pulling the same parts out. And then before they knew it, it was like, oh crap, we accidentally made the same camera. And
accidentally.
Then here's what makes it worse. A7, the FX3 team comes out and they have Cinetone on theirs. And the A7S3 team goes, wait, we could have had Cine? Look. Well, we want that now too. And they just literally take it and move it over. And I think that happens when you have companies as big as Sony because, you know, they got freaking TVs and PlayStations. They're making movies. They've got like 50 camera lineups. Like, I just think at a certain point, the teams are just not able to talk to each other because, heck, they may not even be in the same country.
Yeah.
People on the team may not even be in the same country working together.
I could see that.
So that's my theory.
Sony does. I could definitely see that. Sony makes so much stuff that I imagine that's really, really possible.
Yeah.
Because they're not even like one's in the cinema lineup and then one's not. And so like I could imagine that would be it. So, but I'm here for it. I'm here for an A7S for awesome camera because here's the deal. Make Canon better. Make Nikon better.
Well,
make them all better. Make them all better.
Make
them better.
Let it go.
I'm saying Sony come out with something crazy. Make everybody else better.
Oh my gosh. You need to let it go. Stop it. Not everything's about Canon.
No, I'm saying everybody. Make everybody make that S9 better. I'm just kidding. Not that. What would be in the proper, to be fair, it's not a jab. Who would be in the, I don't even know the Panasonic deals, but who's in that price range of the A7S4? That $3,000 Panasonic? Is it an SH2? What?
SH21 or something like that? I don't know. I don't shoot on Panasonic.
This man put them in the big three, and you don't even know the model.
I didn't put them in the big three.
You said Panasonic? Oh,
no, I
maybe
didn't.
Maybe you didn't.
No.
Maybe you didn't.
No, I did not put them in the big three.
Wow.
I would. Sorry, Panasonic. I told you they're fighting for their life for the big five. They're liable to fall out of the big five.
In other news, Instagram, Meta, has changed some things.
Yeah, it's weird right now, right? So I got to ask the question for the chat first. This year, AI felt like it was like a big part of our industry, right? Like it was changing a lot of things. But then all these new camera brands and all this new gear came out. And I feel like as filmmakers, we were kind of like, I even said this after I came back from NAB, I was excited by how much gear has come out that it felt like AI kind of got a chance to take a step back, especially in our industry.
Yeah.
But then this weekend, I mean, I'm sure every filmmaker, or not this weekend, but this past week, Meta now has this thing built into it, and then like nobody quite understands how it works, but they can identify if an image you posted used generative AI to make the image.
Wow.
And they are putting a badge on that image to say that this was created with AI. And photographers are pissed off about this. Like photographers.
So give me one sec, Brandon. So if I go on, so what you're saying is if I post an image on Facebook or I post an image on Instagram.
So far it's Instagram specific.
Okay, perfect. So I post an image on Instagram.
Yep.
And let's say it's a dog picture.
Yep.
And there's like the leashes in the picture and I generative fill the leash out.
Yes.
It's going to put something on my photo?
Yeah, so above your image, right underneath your at, it will say image made with AI. And it is able to somehow read the metadata of your photo to know if it actually used AI, generative AI specifically, to know that that image was made with AI. And the way that this has been tested, so Petapixel put out a whole article talking about this, and basically what they came down to was like, if you use like the clone stamp or if you use any other editing tool, it doesn't do it. But if you use generative fill specifically, it does it, and it doesn't matter how small of an area you use. So somehow it's able to tell that there are some generative pixels added to this image versus it reallocating existing pixels within the actual frame.
So I've posted some pictures, so I'm going to be interested in go check those out.
I've tested this. It's not working on past images. Because
Oh, okay,
I've done
okay,
the same
okay.
thing. I posted images that have generative fill. It
Yeah.
didn't pick up those. It's picking up new images that get posted as of right now.
Interesting. Panasonic just showed up to the chat.
Oh, Lord. Did they really?
No.
Okay, good.
But one of their representatives.
Who's in here?
Screen Fiends.
Oh.
He's telling us it's the S5 II.
That's like $2,000.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
in the same.
Sorry, Panasonic. If you're not in the top 3, we're not going to go back to talk about you. I'll make him mad on this one.
when they release the S5 III,
Hey,
we
hold
will
on one
hype
second.
y'all up.
Listen, I'm talking about AI right now. They can go. They can go back in time.
Put down Panasonic hater in the comments.
You can put that. I'll wear that one like a badge of honor. No, but like legitimately, my real question when it comes to this AI stuff is twofold. One, how much AI can you use before you feel like your image is created with AI? Because that is the thing that a lot of these like photographers are mad at.
Ooh.
Like one photographer, he just generated like there was like a trash can or a bench or something in his frame, and he just generated that out, right? But he took like this amazing photo of a mountain and all this stuff, and when it puts the badge made with AI, people just assume the entire image is fake.
Yeah.
Right? But it's not. He
Yeah.
generated a small section of it.
Does clone stamp and all that stuff?
No, it's
Okay.
it's specifically generative, which is very interesting. But also, people aren't really sure how Instagram is able to tell.
Well, here's what's interesting. I know in Lightroom for me, I can tell it to strip all EXIF data.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if, because like basically when I do generative, especially for my photography, I go into Lightroom, I make all the corrections that I want to make, export it to Photoshop.
Yeah.
Or not even export, just send it to Photoshop.
Right.
Make the change, save. It comes back into Lightroom.
Yep.
And then once it's in Lightroom, when I export from there, I have the ability to strip all data.
I think this is something that I would love to, like, we need to test ourselves.
Yeah.
But, chat, if you've tested this, definitely let us know. But, like, I really want to know how much, because I think this will be something that will happen kind of going forward, even in the video space, is like how much AI can we use before, like even on YouTube right now, when you upload a video, you have to say if the video has anything that has been altered because of AI. How much AI do you feel is required?
Scott's a purist.
What did he say?
He's a purist.
I'm
Throw him
okay.
up there.
Oh, he says
Throw him up there.
He says, I'm okay with labeling any, all caps,
Yes.
AI as AI. Let's just stop using AI.
Here's the hot
be
take.
the artist.
Be the artist. So here's the deal for me. Scott, I am not anti you, but I'm the opposite. I don't think that I care. I don't care that they're labeling it. I get why people do care, because I would hate for someone to think that an amazing image that I took was now Mid-Journey or something that was completely fake or whatever. Like, I wouldn't like that. But I just don't care about what other people think on certain things. To be fair, there are certain things that I do care about. On this particular topic, I don't, because I care about my clients getting the best. And
So-
if it means removing the trash can and that's what they want, I don't care.
Yeah, but I think the reason why photographers are worried about this is take another photographer's perspective for a moment. So this is a travel photographer. He takes amazing photos that the value is he went and actually took this photo, and he used generative fill to get rid of a trash can, right? Something small. But when people see that, they're like, oh, you're just using AI. They think the whole image could be, quote unquote, AI. Therefore, they are devaluing his artistic skill level.
Absolutely.
Because they think it's AI. Now, the difference, I think, with you, and I think depending on the type of photographer, is normally as like your clients are people. And so you're taking pictures of those people. So they know those people are real, right? I think when it comes to non-people related images,
Yes.
this is going to be more of a concern for photographers.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, I kind of agree with you.
Yeah.
Because we've all known that, like, even photos of people, especially like in magazines and in Billboard, it's just not real.
Yeah.
Now they're just letting you know
Yeah.
that it's not real.
You're not a purist. I'm not a purist. like even because I take landscapes and I love my landscapes, but the reality is even the people that were getting crap done on film cameras, they were still dodging and burning, letting it be in the develop a little bit longer to get a little bit brighter. Like everything is manipulated to a certain extent, even back in the day, 100 years ago.
People, you pick your film stock based off of the look.
Absolutely. If you crop, you're editing the image.
Yeah.
Like ultimately, the moment that you start, painting any of those things, like you're changing. And so like when I say I don't care, I just say I feel like we kind of need to embrace it or be like Scott, don't use it at all. If you don't want people to feel like your stuff is like whatever, then don't use it. But on the reverse end, like if you stopped caring what people thought, then like ultimately at the end of the day, I like if you think it's fake, great, you think it's fake.
Yeah.
If you know me and you think it's real, now I do have a problem with you passing off S9 something as real that isn't real. Like you gotta like I do think that there needs to be integrity in that. But I feel like Meta is making you have integrity. Like
They're
if you use it,
they're forcing the
you're
integrity.
enforcing the integrity. That's not true. No, I'm just. But yeah, I do think that like ultimately, if you used AI, like put in the caption, "I removed the trash can."
Yeah, like have a little disclaimer or something like that.
Yeah, let them know.
Yeah. I think we've already seen like that happen. Like there was I can't remember what country it was, but like anytime a photo is used in a public marketing forum and the image was edited to make a person look better than they really look, they actually have to label that image that like, hey, we photoshopped this image to make a person look better.
Yeah.
And I feel like, and like I don't know, this is maybe I'm wild for this, but like I just feel like in this world of everybody like wanting more authenticity, but then it's like we want authenticity, but don't tell people when I did this thing. Like it kind of like loses it a little bit. So I think I'm here for it. I understand why photographers are not happy with it, but to that I would say, just get better at clone stamping because then that means you don't have to deal with it and stop leaning on the generative fill.
They're coming for you.
They're going to be pissed. They can be pissed.
Well, even clone stamping, like it's coming for you. Meta's going to be telling all your business.
Yeah, you're just.
She had a pimple right here, and it was covered.
Every photo, here you go. Every photo is a long press to the before and the after.
Could you imagine, bro? Or not even like, well, that would be funny. But even if they didn't do like a before, but they were like, these are all the edits. And
it's
they just have
red
circles
dots everywhere. Oh yeah, her neck wasn't really that long. The head was cut out and lifted up. The neck was brought in.
Calling out everybody's business.
Liquify here.
Was used here.
Oh man, no, I think I'm here for it. I'm here for the authenticity.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do?
Yeah,
what can you do?
All right, Jarrell, we're in a bit of a crosshairs here.
Yes.
Where do we go next? Do we want to get authentic?
Do we want to get...
Oh, look, we got another subscriber.
Hey, another subscriber.
Look at him, Dan.
Yes.
By the way, if you missed it at the beginning of the show, we got a couple animations popping in based off of subscriptions and super chats.
Did 3 or 4 come in?
I don't know. Can't keep up.
3 or 4. So...
They are distracting.
We just need like, I don't know, 195 more. 195 more. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe now because we need 190-ish people to get to 150,000 people. Brandon, how long you been on YouTube?
5-6 years.
5-6 years.
Something like that.
An incredible milestone.
Yeah. No, it would be big. I appreciate you trying to push them so hard.
No, I'm just saying. It's like, it's crazy. It's super cool that you guys are a part of it.
Thank you guys so much.
I think a lot of...
Should we just ask the chat where they want us to go?
Yes, we can ask them.
Okay, chat. We have 2 options we can go to next. It's completely up to you. You guys, you want to throw a poll in? Can we throw a poll in?
Ooh,
let's do a quick poll.
Yes.
All right, chat. So we have 2 ways we can go. We have 2 things set up at this point. I'm going to pull myself up as main camera. We could either go into a game of overrated, underrated, which, as you guys know, we play here pretty regularly, and Jarrell's got some spicy takes that he wants to hear my opinion on. I want to also hear from you guys if some of these topics are overrated or underrated. By the way, shout out. Thanks again for the subscription. Now, on the second side, we can also dive into some comments. Now, we are not afraid of your feedback, trust me, because this is the uncensored show. In fact, we expect you guys to disagree with us on a lot of the things that we're talking about. So what we want to know is, would you rather have us go into a game of overrated, underrated, where we can actually talk about some of the gear, some of the topics? I don't really know what Jarrell has planned for this, but should we go into a game of overrated, underrated, or should we bring up some spicy comments that you guys have left on previous videos and just sort of react to those comments? Because there are some in there, probably one of my favorite comments I've ever gotten in my life. It's pretty funny. So we just put a poll. Let us know which way you think we should go at this point. I think I like this idea.
It's we should do this more often.
Yeah,
dude, it's ripping through. People are voting.
People are voting. Where are we sitting?
And it's leaning towards talking through comments.
Talking through comments.
It's a 80-20, basically.
80-20. Okay,
80-20.
So we'll give it like we'll give it about another minute or so. And while that starts to pop up, I think the thing I'm enjoying most about this show is the engagement that we get a chance to have.
Oh, 100%. You guys, last week, this week, every week, you guys have been dropping some amazing comments. Brandon and I produce the show. Like, Brandon's switching camera angles. Like, I'm trying to, like, literally go through comments and let him know what to put up and those sort of different things. So with that being said, even if we don't see your comment in this show, like, while it's happening live, from what you can tell from our next segment, we go through all your comments. We read them. We appreciate them. And so, we love that you guys love this.
Yeah, no, definitely. Even after the show, we tend to go through and reread the chat just so we can make sure we have a good cadence of where the chat is. Because at the end of the day, we're making this show for you guys. I mean, we enjoy having these conversations. We would have them anyway. But the reason why we do it live specifically is because we want you guys to be a part of it. And so that's the reason why we do it this way. And that's the reason why we've been doing it every Friday. Do you know, Jarrell?
What's that?
Obviously, with today being the last day of May, we have been doing this show for 5 consecutive months.
Wow.
And haven't missed a Friday.
I want math people.
Math.
Who's the math people? What is that?
I don't know.
How many episodes?
I have no idea.
59.
There's nothing. There's only 52 weeks in a year, so you're off a little bit.
So if we've been doing it since May, I mean, we're a little bit short of 30?
Yeah.
Maybe. What's the half? Oh, no. A little bit short of 26.
20-something?
20.
We're 20-something episodes in, I think.
We're 20-something episodes in.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. All right, where are we at? Let's go to the poll.
So I think we're there. We're at 70%, which is the amount of people that were here for Canon stuff. Towards your comments.
Towards the comments. Okay, comments. So comments is where we're going?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to run comments. And since we're going to run comments, we, as we typically like to do, like to get a little bougie if we can. Let's see. Can I run comments? Let's see. Like he said, we produce his entire show.
Yes.
So here we go.
So fancy.
So fancy.
Shout out to Travis.
Oh, bro, you beat me to it. I was just about to say the same thing. Shout out to Travis for our bougie intros. So what we really want to do is not only respond to some of you guys' comments, but we also want to just inspire you / motivate you to leave those comments. So if you're just somebody who puts the show on and you put your phone in your pocket and you're just listening, definitely bring those comments up because we love to hear them. Yeah,
I don't know if it's like you guys, but there are very few people in my life where you can talk camera gear, client woes, rumors. Like my wife could care less.
She couldn't care less.
Could care less.
Could not care less.
Could not care. I don't know. She doesn't care. So we're glad to be hanging out with you guys on Fridays.
Absolutely. All right, let's see if we can get some of these comments to pop up. Check this out. All right, here we go. First comment to pop up. You want to go ahead and read that?
Ooh, words that lost their meanings in filmmaking sphere.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, let me see if I can get it pulled up again.
It is
Bam.
cinematic, game changer, professional, pro.
So this comes from our episode where we were talking about, are there such thing as pro cameras?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the point that Alex here is making is very, very valid. I think we just got a super chat in. Shout out. Look at
Hey.
that. Oh, so we got a graphic on it. Lowers the that's pretty dope. It still popped up. So chat, let us know. Have these words lost their meaning? Cinematic, game changer, professional, or pro? What are your thoughts, Jerome?
Yeah, this gives me a chance to somewhat revise my statement when I said the FX3 is not a pro camera.
I think this is where this comes from.
To be fair, in that, I wasn't just shouting out the FX3, not hating on Sony, because I don't think the C70 is professional. I don't think that I think the statement was mirrorless cameras are not pro. And I want to be clear, and this is what I want to say. The image is pro. We know that it's pro because while I was watching the creator, I could not tell that this wasn't shot. I could not tell that it wasn't shot on a much more bigger, more expensive rig. So I want to be clear. The image is professional. I disagree. Well, I agree with you and disagree with you on this. Like, I do think that these have lost their meaning, but I definitely do think that there is pro cameras. I think there is consumer cameras. And I think there's prosumer cameras. But I think the FX3 image is pro.
Yeah.
And it has pro features, but it is a prosumer camera.
Okay. I'm going to agree with all of what he just said. I think that cinematic has lost his meaning. I think that game changer has lost its meaning. And I think that pro has lost its meaning. And it's because of a over saturation of the use.
Agreed.
And when something is overly saturated, when a lot of people are casting their opinions on what the meaning of the word is, it gets hard to use the word properly because you don't know what the other person's association with that same word actually means.
I agree 100% with you.
And that makes it really tough. And so I think Alex is 100% spot on here. I totally agree with his point that these words have definitely lost their meaning. Now, this wasn't originally how we intended to make this work, but let's let it run. Let's see. What is that comment? I don't know if I want to bring that comment up. Okay, this is
It's uncensored.
This is uncensored.
It's uncensored.
You ready to go?
Sure. Yes.
All right. Hey, look, he super chatted it. I'll let you read it.
Do you think casual drug use makes creatives more creative? I'm going to have to tell you, Starlight Photos, that I do not know. I don't know. So I can't say.
Here's my thought. I mean, I'm going to speak on this because I appreciate the super chat. But I think that the downsides outweigh the possible positives. Because we've seen too many artists go that way.
That's good.
And like, I feel like we lost their complete artistic potential because of that.
Absolutely.
So I'm never going to be an advocate for doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I understand where that question comes from. I think it's just the wrong influence. I think those people had that in them already.
Yeah, for sure.
And unfortunately, a lot of times, their time gets cut short, and that's not worth it.
Yeah, I almost imagine a candle burning at both ends.
Yes.
And it's like, is the light maybe a little brighter? It is. But is it killed faster?
Yes.
It is. So I don't know that the benefit would outweigh the negatives.
Yes. So that's my thought. So I mean, this is kind of a new deal, but we have some more comments that we're going to react to. But if you guys do have a question or you want to throw your comment in there, definitely feel free, throw it in the chat, and we'll bring it up, especially if it's a super chat. All right.
So I think.
Yeah.
Do you think it's time for the big comment?
Okay. This guy. This was probably my favorite comment I've ever gotten.
Okay.
I think this is it right here. All right. So
Alrighty.
let's just start.
We can just say that we won't actually. I won't say his name. Y'all can
his
read
at
it.
is right there.
Yeah. But And I'm not even saying that from we can just say that he is not a fan.
I won't say he
I.
wasn't a fan of us. I think he wasn't I'll say for sure.
Okay.
He wasn't a fan of what we were saying.
That's fair.
Look, this says moronic. You know how hard I laughed when I read this comment?
Yes.
To be called moronic
Yes.
was the funniest thing.
Do you think he was holding back?
Oh, no. He was being uncensored. Basically, and I'm not going to even let this, you guys can read that comment for yourself, take your time, whatever you want to do. The reason why I say you can take your time is because homie felt the need to, let me see if I can get that one off. Homie felt the need to comment again.
Yes.
Look, I am totally fine with you disagreeing with us. In fact, like I said, 90% of y'all probably will because we're all individual people.
Very fair.
What I thought was hilarious about this comment was that he called us moronic for our opinions, and then he continued to watch more of the video, and then
shouts out to you.
Yeah, appreciate the watch time. And then he continued to then begin to think that we were moronic.
Yeah.
And felt the need to comment again to just make sure that we knew that he still stood by his comment after he finished hearing what we had to say.
Yes.
Which to me is very noble. You know, it's very easy to watch the beginning of a video, disagree, not watch through to the end to fully understand what they have to say and make a comment. But no, he was like, I think they're idiots. Morons. And then read the whole, and then watch the rest of the video and was like, yes, okay, I finished the video. I am confirming you guys are still morons.
Dude, I have a sneaky suspicion about the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah.
It might not be true.
Okay.
I think haters make you go viral.
I think that if for some reason there was an algorithmic way for haters' views to not count, their comments to not be seen, and their input to the algorithm to be scrubbed, YouTube would flop as an entire system.
I don't know what it is, but on videos that I produce where people are being, and I'm not saying that it was a hateful comment, but just whatever, opinionated. I feel like negative comments boost, and I don't know how. I don't know if they're using ChatGPT for it. I don't know, but there is something. And if you're not using ChatGPT 4.0, use it. But it's free. Not sponsored. But I feel like for whatever reason, the videos that do really well for me are videos where there are highly opinionated disagreements.
I think it's just those topics are so, they strike a nerve no matter what. So you are going to get those people who disagree and they're going to share their thoughts. You get the people who agree and they're going to share their thoughts because you're actually saying something.
Yeah. You're
not just walking down the middle of the hallway because there's nothing interesting there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's not necessarily why we started this show, but I think that's one of my favorite things about this show is that we decided that we're just going to actually say something about this industry that we love.
Even if we disagree, in which we do, this
every
is my,
week.
I can tell you 100%, nobody is paying me. They can if they want to. But at this point right now, no one is paying me. And these are the feelings that I have developed and opinions that I've developed over the last 15 plus years of being a working professional in this industry. I not from a cred deal, but oh my goodness, my income comes off of this stuff.
Okay, Cam's.
What's he say? Is he agreeing with me?
He says, if haters make videos go viral, I've dedicated my channel.
Hey, Cam, blink twice if you've heard about the S9 Nikon photo. Let me know. I just need to know. I don't know who knows. Were you here? Have you been here from the beginning, Cam?
He probably wasn't.
Blink twice.
Yeah, it's okay. No, I absolutely think that when you make videos that people actually care about or you're saying stuff that people actually either agree or disagree with, that's important. I think we have to say stuff, especially in this industry. I think we need to push these companies to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And that means 1 week you can praise them for something that they're doing really, really well. And that means the next week you tell them, hey, misstep. this isn't what we want.
Yeah.
You know, these companies need the feedback in order to keep making their products better.
For sure.
All right.
Next comment?
Yeah, that's the super chat from Cam.
Oh, nice.
What it do?
Hands for you.
Hands. Thank you so much. Cam, by the way, I don't know if you saw that or not, but whenever you super chat, there's animations that pop up. So don't go crazy with that, please. We don't need the distractions. But
should Cam be the super chat GIF?
Oh, that's a great idea. Hey, chat, let us know what should happen whenever someone super chats. Give us your best ideas. Put them in the chat.
Because Cam and Justin are the largest supporters of the channel.
They are our financial backers for this.
This week's episode is sponsored by
Cam Mackey.
Cam Mackey.
Oh, man. All right. Last comment that I want to bring up because I just thought it was so cool. I thought it was so cool that this came through. So as you guys know, about 2 weeks ago, we were live streaming and we were talking about some of the Canon news. And who is, in your opinion, the most influential Canon shooter on YouTube?
The GOAT.
Who is it?
The GOAT.
Who's the GOAT? Say his name.
Oh, it's absolutely Peter McKinnon.
I think it's who else could say it?
Who else?
Who else?
They have ambassadors, but who are they?
Yeah, exactly.
Who are
right? So when we were covering the Canon news and the R1 being officially announced, we made not an entire live stream, but most of the live stream was around that, right? And we even in that video referenced Peter McKinnon's video on the R1. Mm-hmm. And we actually kind of joked that I wasn't a joke, I was being very serious. He seemed frustrated that we got such a little announcement. And he also confirmed that like he doesn't have the camera. He doesn't know anything, right?
Does he?
I really don't think he does. That energy that he brought to that video showed me
sure.
he didn't know anything, right? And so for us to talk about Canon, to talk about Peter, and to talk about everything that was going on was a really interesting episode, right? But you know who commented on that video?
Chat, have you seen this?
Mr. Peter McKinnon himself, bro. That was like, for me, that was such an amazing thing to see on there. Like for him, I mean, granted, it's not the most amazing comment in the world, but you know, for him to say great coverage, enjoyed it, I thought that was pretty cool and very like, you know, I thought it was really nice of him to be able to do that because we definitely, you know, we were kind of poking at him a little bit, like, you know, like, hey, he seems a little frustrated about this, and like, hey, Canon, you need to really step your game up. You know, I felt like we were talking about his dad a little bit, and he was like, "It's okay, guys, I kind of agree."
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna be honest. I know that you're excited, as not necessarily being on YouTube as a YouTuber and watching Peter McKinnon's content for years. Yeah. Right. To be on a show that he watched, that's dope.
That's kind of cool, right?
That's dope.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, and for him to like it.
Yeah.
Like, that's really cool.
I think that's really interesting. So yeah, so I thought that was really cool, you know, especially being called morons and stuff like that in the comment sections. That was a nice little ray of sunshine. So
take that, Ken.
Who cares if he calls a moron? Peter McKinnon liked our episode. Well, dude, I absolutely am hyped about all of this amazing stuff that's going down in the world of Canon, that's going down in the world of video production. Everything just seems to be nuts right now. I gotta say, definitely, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, so that way we know you guys are enjoying the show. That lets us get the show out to more people. You guys are awesome. For a second, hold on, I'm going to take camera because I really want to do this. For a second, I just want to let you guys know how awesome you guys are. When we started this show, we had about on average 20 or so people watching. We are hitting well over 100 people consuming it live when it happens, every single episode. And that is just, I just want to say thank you to you guys for tuning in, hanging out with us, having a good time with us. Jarrell, I know that we have been just like so excited with where the show has been. 5 months going strong. Every single Friday, haven't missed an episode. I think that's a huge milestone for us. And so I just want to take a moment to not only celebrate that with the two of us, but also celebrate that with you guys who tune in and watch this every single week. You guys make this thing what it is. And so I know I got a little gushy there, but I just had to tell people, you know?
Dude, I've seen people that live stream and they do it for so long with really no interaction or anybody tuning in. So I tell you this, like from something that started from nothing to now what it is right now, We appreciate you guys so much because you don't have to take the time. You don't have to comment. You don't have to engage the way that you do. But this community right here is dope.
Yeah, this community right here for sure is like the best thing ever. And as you said, like I have been on YouTube for 5 years, 6 years, something like that. And I have never felt so close to my audience and to the community as I feel with this show. And so we really appreciate it. And if you missed it, we will be live streaming on Wednesday. We'll be posting the information on that. We're doing a special bonus live stream on Wednesday. Because as you guys know, as Jarrell is going to be shouting from the rooftops, Canon is going to be officially announcing
Stomping everybody in the mouth.
They're not stomping anybody in the mouth. Actually, I'll hold my words until Wednesday. We'll see.
Put your mouth guards in.
We will see what Canon has to say on Wednesday. And what's crazy is I'm actually leaving the same day to go to Cine Gear. So hopefully, whatever they have unveiled on Wednesday, I'll get a chance to see it in person at Cine Gear. If you guys are going to be in LA next weekend, and you're going to Cine Gear, definitely let me know because I want to hang out with you guys. I want to meet up with you guys, talk to you, chit chat, whatever it is. I think it's going to be super legit. But yeah, I'm really, really excited about the show. Do you see something? Good?
Yeah, I'm good.
No, dude, like pretty pumped. Be ready on Wednesday for the bonus live stream. Don't miss it. We're going to have a lot of fun. It will be a little different than this because we're actually going to be watching the Canon announcement live on real time. So you'll be able to get our real-time reactions, our real-time thoughts on what Canon's doing. But yeah, be on lookout. Hit that subscribe button. And thank you guys so much for checking out this episode. Peace. Last words?
Peace.